think our next roving reporter is bringing the fun today in entrepreneurs in entertainment, y'all.
Adam Rothenberg is a media personality, interview king, clubhouse manager, published author, event coordinator, red carpet correspondent, GME associate producer, and roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. It's Adam, and I am back in the closet for yet another edition of Behind the Curtain. And today I want to talk about the new off-Broadway show, The Life and Slimes of Marc Summers, who you know from hosting Nickelodeon's Double Dare and Food Network's Unwrapped. Well, before the show begins, audience members can put their name into a jar and be randomly selected to participate in one of the games that happens throughout the show. Well, I really wanted to be selected because I grew up watching Double Dare. And at one point during the show, and here's the behind the curtain story, they call my boyfriend's name. Well, Angelo didn't want to go up on stage, so he told me I should go up and pretend to be him. So that's what I did. And I got to live out my childhood dream of being on Double Dare, having Marc Summers ask me trivia questions, and taking the physical challenge. Now, the game we played was the one where one person sits on the bench and the other person is pouring jars of milk into a bottle. And whichever team gets the milk above the line wins. Well, since I grew up watching Double Dare, I knew I had to keep my head perfectly still. So I did, and we won the game. And then during the trivia part of the show, we didn't know the answer. The other team didn't know one of the answers. And therefore, we got to take the physical challenge. And I had to flip pies into my partner's oversized pants. Well, once I got the hang of how to throw the pies, we ended up winning the whole game. And I, like I said, got to live out my dream of being on Double Dare. It was everything I could have hoped for and more. So that is today's behind the curtain story. It's back to you in the studio.
Oh my goodness, Adam, that is hysterical.
It was so much fun. And literally, I went up on stage. They asked me my name. I said my name was Angelo. They asked me what I did. I mentioned where he worked. And actually, I'm glad I did because that gave Marc and I a little bit of banter to have at the show when he asked what I did. And then, of course, afterwards, Angelo's like, that's not exactly what I do. And I'm like, yeah, but it created a great moment between Marc and I. So it's fine.
Oh my goodness.
Do you
So
have a picture? That's
I
not usual. Do you have a picture, Adam?
I do actually. So this picture here is actually of me and Marc in 2018. That was the first time I got to interview him. He was doing he was presenting, he was like the host of Drew Gasparini's show at 54 Below. Marc was hosting. It was Marc Summers Presents Drew Gasparini, and they have worked together. And Drew actually wrote the music for the off-Broadway show, The Life and Slimes of Marc Summers. So this is when I got to interview both of them together in 2018, and it was so nice to meet him. I mean, that was my first time meeting him. Here, I grew up watching Double Dare. It was an amazing experience, and I don't have confirmation yet, but I am trying to work out doing a new interview with Marc about the off-Broadway show. So when that gets confirmed, I hopefully will have a new picture to share.
Very exciting, Adam.
It is, and I'm a little bit confused. I just need a timeline clarification here, Adam. So when you interviewed him, was it after that you went on the show or before?
So I interviewed him in 2018, and then the show that I'm talking about, off-Broadway show I'm talking about now, that just started this year. So that was just a few weeks ago that I went to see the one-man show where I got to go up on stage. So
Gotcha.
that's the time frame. And that picture was from 2018 when I met him.
Amazing. Oh my goodness, so good. And Adam, thank you for sharing your behind the curtain with us every single week. Like I feel privileged to be in the studio and get this and obviously be broadcasting this out to those tuning in as well. I think it's just amazing what you do. And the podcast, Adam, we need to talk about Adam's podcast for a moment because Adam, you are doing such an incredible job. And how many interviews now? What are we up to? What's the number? Like it's amazing.
The tally is still at, I'm saying, over 1,500. I am not in a place yet where I can do a full recount, but it is coming. It is on my sticky note to do this year, to do a recount. So a new number will be coming soon. But can I just tell you one more quick behind the curtain about the show? When I got off stage, Angela was like, you should have just said your name and what you do, because of my interviews, and since you already interviewed him. And I was like, yes, but then I would have felt awkward because I would have said my name's Adam, and they would have been like, they had the card of the person they called on stage, then it would have been, well, we called Angela, why are you up here? That I felt would have been more awkward. So plus it was fun to be somebody else for a moment.
And of course, with his permission.
Of course, 100%. I would not have done it without his permission.
Thank you, Adam.